Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Here we are again on a Saturday evening. Well, for the past few gloomy days, we were all a bit down. Well, today it's all bright in here. We are here on a bright sunny day back here for the Toastmasters meeting of VirtuoMasters Club. Yes, this is a club where we all get together and have good time while learning our ways. Now, when I talk about a meeting, this is the 81st meeting of VirtuoMasters Club. We are here. Also, before getting into the meeting part, we need to take care of a few things during this meeting. First up, please keep yourself mute until and unless you are required to speak. Second, please turn on your camera when a speaker is delivering his speech to motivate them. This gives immense confidence to the speakers. And third, and very important, in Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, politics, and religion in a derogatory manner. Hence, I would request everyone to refrain from using those words in such a manner. Now that the rules are set, we are on to the meeting part. Yes. Well, whenever we start, we have someone to engage us in the best of the ways. And for that, we have someone presiding this meeting today. Well, she's not just anyone. She has been a distinguished Toastmaster very recently, but she has played distinguished role in mentoring a lot many people we all know in this fraternity. Not only in this fraternity, she is a mentor in real life. She is also a teacher and a very good speaker. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the president of VirtuoMasters Club, DTM Panna Rashni Ray. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Let's keep it going for the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anand. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing today? All good?
Awesome.
Thank you. And welcome to the 81st meeting of VirtuoMasters Club. I open the meeting with the bang of the gate. Most of you have seen the MOM in the meeting, the WhatsApp group. Please show a thumbs up to show that it is passed. Thank you, dear Toastmasters. Friends, Gandhiji had said, freedom is not worth having if it doesn't include the freedom to make mistakes. And we Toastmasters absolutely believe in it. We provide a friendly and motivating environment for members to try out new things, maybe make some mistakes, get feedback in the most motivating manner possible so that everybody is able to learn in the best possible manner, right? That's why we are here, to learn, make mistakes, learn from a mistake, and grow from it. Today, I want to complete a process that has been pending for some time. We have a new member who has joined the VirtuoMasters Club, VirtuoMasters family, and I would like to formally induct him. Toastmaster Abhijit Bose, please switch on your camera and come on. Yes. Thank you. Toastmaster Abhijit Bose. I'm going to formally induct you into our club, okay? Toastmaster Abhijit Bose, you are joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people learn to communicate more effectively. As a member of VirtuoMasters Club, you will become a part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. That is the most important part, spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Now, Toastmaster Abhijit, please place your hand over your heart and repeat as I speak. I, Abhijit Bose.
I, Abhijit Bose.
In the presence of my fellow members of VMC.
In the presence of my fellow members of VMC.
Make this firm obligation.
make this obligation
to attend meetings regularly
to attend meetings regularly
and prepare fully for each assignment.
and prepare fully for each assignment,
To participate actively in club activities,
to participate actively in club activities,
to build open, friendly relationship with my fellow members,
to build friendly relationship with my fellow members,
and to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters.
and to introduce other members in the club so that they can also take the benefits of being the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit Bose.
Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to request all VMC members to repeat along with me. All of you can just repeat after me. We, the members of VMC,
We, the members of the VMC,
pledge to support you, Abhijit Bose,
pledge to
Pledge
support
to
you,
support you,
Abhijit
Abhijit
Bose,
Bose,
in your quest for self-development,
in your quest for self-development,
provide you with positive, helpful evaluations,
provide you with positive, helpful evaluation,
so that you have a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
so that you have a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the VMC family, Abhijit. You have been formally inducted. A
Thank you
big
very
round
much.
of applause for him, please. Now it is time for me to get a quick guest introduction. So who do we have here as guests? We have Toastmaster Needle. Is she still here or has she dropped out? I think she's dropped out. Okay. We have Prince Ahuja. Prince? Yes, Prince
Yes, ma'am.
Ahuja. Please could you give a brief introduction of yourself and how you came to know about Toastmasters?
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me opportunity to introduce myself. I am Prince Ahuja. I am from Delhi NCR. Currently, I am teacher by profession, and I have joined this good club so I can improve my public speaking as well as get confidence. And thanks to Panna ma'am for giving me mentorship as well as connect to this wonderful international group. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prince. I hope you become a member soon and gain from it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who else do we have over here? Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat, for coming here to the session today. And thank you, Toastmaster Mehuli, for coming to our session and sharing your speech with us. Now, to take the session forward, we have a very special Toastmaster of the Day. Now, the Toastmaster of the Day is special not only to our VMC family, but also in the entire District 41. He is the immediate past president of VirtuoMasters Club and also serves the clubs in area R1 as the area director. He has completed multiple projects and is a successful coach for You Speak Toastmasters Club. He is someone who's got a sense of humor and someone we can always depend on. So let us call on to the virtual podium our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam President, distinguished Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray. I am one of the many who is elated to have you leading VirtuoMasters Club as the president. So thank you very much for that. And also in the introduction, when you said he has completed multiple projects, thank you very much, though it is, everybody has completed, even if they complete more than 2, it is multiple. So yes, I'm in level 4, but thank you for putting it like that. It gives me some weight to my resume. And good evening, dear members of VirtuoMasters Club, Toastmaster Rajat Ray from Alak Charitra Toastmasters Club, dear future Toastmasters and Toastmasters from other clubs. Did you know that our Madam President shares a birthday with a famous Russian by the name of Count Lev Nikolaevich Vyazemsky? Since I can't pronounce, he also goes by the name of Leo Tolstoy. Yes, and while he may be counted among the best authors, distinguished Toastmaster Panna Ray is undoubtedly one of the best selfless Toastmasters in our community. We all agree to that. So thank you again, Madam President. Now, as the Toastmaster of the day today, My role would be to ensure we have a smooth, seamless, and crisp meeting. And I will also pray that we be punctual to end on time. Now, who here shares a birthday with a friend or famous personality that overshadows you on your special day? Toastmaster Sumit, did you, since you recently had your birthday, was it any chance somebody famous also had their birthday on that same day, or did it get overshadowed in any way?
I don't think so. Like I have one friend who shares with me, but that
You
was
overshadow him.
yeah.
Good, good. That's also one way to do. You can either be at the receiving end or at the giving end. So good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, this meeting, like most other Toastmaster meetings, will have 3 sections. First, we have the prepared speech section that will see 2 fine speakers deliver well-prepared, mentored, and rehearsed speeches. And in the second section, we will have an impromptu speaking section guaranteed to get you excited. With fear or joy, that is something which you will decide later. And the third, the evaluation section. This is where every speaker who took the screen and everything that happened during the meeting, everything will be evaluated. Now, our general evaluator for the day is someone who shares his birthday with Swami Vivekananda. Our general evaluator was born exactly 99 years after this great man. Anyone knows the date? Birthday of Swami Vivekananda. Anybody?
I know, except me. Huh?
Except you, obviously.
I know.
You also, except you also. Anybody else? Come on, Bengalis in the house.
It was in the month of January, but
Excellent.
I don't
Full
recall
points.
the date.
Chalega, that I'll give you full points. 12th January. Well done. You get imaginary 425 points. Excellent. Our general evaluator shares the spiritual seeking trait with Swami Vivekananda, but he's fully aware that he is not as active as Swamiji was. Let us welcome and spotlight Toastmaster Rajat Ray, our general evaluator for the day, to introduce his role and his team. Toastmaster Rajat.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Krishnesh. Well, it's a pleasure to be here again in VMC in my usual role of general evaluator. I think when I think of Swami Vivekananda, my mother said jokingly that when I was born, I was already like this. So that is his famous typical pose, So as general evaluator today, it is my task and that of my team to give a comprehensive feedback on the full session. And that includes prepared speeches, table topics, the major role players like President, Toastmaster, etc., and some special aspects of the meeting, which will be evaluated by dedicated team members. And there are 3 roles which have been defined inside the team, who I will introduce to you just now. The role players will come on stage to explain what is it that they will be doing during the session and to make the session a better one in future. And the first of those role players is the timer for today. So let me invite on stage Toastmaster Abhijit Bose, the role of timer, to tell us about his role.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, and very good evening to all the Toastmasters and my dear guest. So as a timer, my duty is to note down the timings of prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluators. For prepared speeches, the time allotted varies as per the project. For instance, like if you have an icebreaker, it will be 4 to 6 minutes, and for other speeches it will be 5 to 7 minutes. Like if a prepared speaker has completed 5 minutes, then I will be showing the green card, and if he or she is exceeding 7 minutes, then I will be showing the red card. And for table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. Speaker must meet the specified time limit to qualify for the awards at the end of the meeting. I will so shall I share my screen so that the cards are available, like visible?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Just demonstrate.
sure. So 1 minute. Slideshow. Yes. Is it visible to everybody? So whenever it comes to the minimum time required, I will show a green card. And at the meantime, I will show a yellow card. And if it is the maximum time exceeded, I will show a red card. Thank you very much. And I will present the report once called by the evaluator. Thank you. And over to you, General Evaluator, for the day.
Master Vijit, for explaining your role. I'd just like to add on that there are certain grace periods to the speaking. In all the three types of speeches, the speaker can speak for 30 seconds more before being disqualified. And in the case of prepared speeches as well as evaluations, he has to speak for at least 30 seconds less than the minimum time in order to qualify. So let us go on to the next role player, who is the counter for today. And let me invite on stage Toastmaster Sumit Kumar.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, everyone. So nobody like any hindrances in their birthday party or any other party. Likewise, in any speeches in Toastmaster, we don't want any crutch words. And my role as a crowd counter to note down these crutch words. And by crutch words, I mean words like so, basically long pause and short pauses. And so I will keeping a note of all these things, and I will present my report at the end of the meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit, for explaining that role. And the third role player is that of grammarian, and that role is going to be played by Toastmaster Ayanangshu Goswami. So let me invite him on stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajat. Well, today I'll be playing the role of grammarian, and in this role as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce you to the word of the day. And for today's meeting, the word is tranquility, which means a peaceful, calm state without noise, worry, etc. An example of using this word will be living in peace and tranquility. Or it can also be used as I love the tranquility of countryside. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. At the end of the meeting, I'll come up with the report as and when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you. Sir, you are muted, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayanangshu, for introducing your session. That brings us to the end of my first round in this session. So let me hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, and we look forward to a session which is full of energy and not too much tranquility. Back to you, Toastmaster Krishnesh.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajat, and your team. Thank you very much for the valuable roles that you will be playing today. Now, friends, we all know for sure, irrespective, without looking at any WhatsApp forwards or anything, we know that today, October 2nd, is Gandhi Jayanti, father of the nation. He was born on this day, and we pay tribute to him. But we have one leader, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, a Prime Minister of India. The textbooks don't mention him in the same lines of our father of the nation, an equally devoted servant of the country. And today I would like to take time to touch upon his deeds. Now, as the Prime Minister of India, he was the one who started off with helping out in terms of making India self-sufficient. So that is what I remember about him especially. And just like that, we also know that similarly, there are so many other leaders in our country. Because textbooks or because not enough has been written about them, they are slowly fading away from our memory. So we need to identify such leaders and start keeping them alive. We need to start retelling their stories to our friends, our family members, and the people who come in after us, so that their sacrifices and their good work is not forgotten. With that, let us move on to the prepared speech section. We have two speakers today, and after each speaker has spoken, the audience has a minute to share their thoughts on the speech with the speaker using a link which will be shared in the chat box. Now, while famous people take away the spotlight from not so famous people on their birthdays, especially, our evaluator for the first speaker was overshadowed on his birthday by a 2-foot pyramid dosa. And the irony is, he was the one who ordered it for his friends during his party and ended up being in its shadow because everyone was taking a photo of this huge dosa. With that, let me request the dosa hater and our February 12th born Toastmaster Kshitij to tell the audience about the speech being attempted by the speaker. Evaluator, Toastmaster Kshitij, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The speaker today is attempting his Level 2 Project 2 speech from the Pathway Presentation Mastery, and the project title is Effective Body Language. The purpose of the speech is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. Mr. Timer, please note that the speech length, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. And with this, I wish the speaker all the very best. And over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. And P.S. I do really hate South Indian food from childhood.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Evaluator. Our first speaker is known to wear his patriotic colors proudly on his chest. And he has been warmly embraced by everyone in the club as a true nationalist. And he usually sees his birthday fall on the days of the Jagannath Rath Yatra. Now, he's elated about this coincidence and follows a motto inspired by Lord Jagannath himself. The Lord is your hand. He will be attempting his Level 2 Project 2 speech, and he is mentored by our very own club member, Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar, who is also a fellow area director with me. Let's have on screen speaker number 1, Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Krishnesh, for giving me this opportunity. 6th September 1965. Our Indian Army gave the apt response to the cowardly act of Pakistan. Our brave hearts reached up till Barki, and they were at the striking distance of attacking the Lahore airport. At that point in time, India was dependent on the wheat which was being imported from the United States of America. The then United States President asked our Prime Minister, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, stop the war, or I will not send the wheat to you. Sri Shastri stood up and said, stop sending the wheat to us. We don't need it. And then on the auspicious day of Vijayadashmi, he addressed our nation and gave us this slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, my fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. You know, the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan is not just a slogan, it's an inspiration. This inspiration gave us Green Revolution, and that made us independent on food grains. This slogan paved the way for White Revolution, and it made us independent as far as dairy is concerned. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri very well knew that food security is as important as securing our borders. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri was very much concerned about agriculture of India, and he knew that we can be independent, we can have food security only if our farmers are prosperous. Before I get drifted any further, I actually wanted to tell you the story of a farmer named Halku who lived in a village near Varanasi. One day, Halku came running to his home and told his wife, see, debt collector is outside the door. Give me the money which we collected. I need to give it to him. Muni said, if we give this money to him, how will you buy a blanket? The winter is coming. Halku said casually, don't worry about that. At least let me get rid of him. Give me this money so that I will get rid of him and then I will do something about blanket. Don't worry. He took the money and started walking towards the door. It seemed to him as if he's tearing out his heart and giving it to someone. Every step which he was taking, he was feeling so bad about it. And then came the winter month of Poos. Even stars seemed to be shivering with cold. Halku was lying in one end of his field on a bamboo cot. And under the cot was his pet dog Jabra. Both of them were not able to sleep. And then Halku looked up the sky just to check how much night is left. Still 1/4 of the night was remaining. And then came an idea to him. There was a mango orchard just at the stone throw away distance from his field. He collected all these leaves and fired that up. The leaves started burning and he started feeling warm. He was feeling very, very warm. And then after some time, the fire stopped. He was still feeling warm, but the cold winds which were around him, it has put him in the state of torpor. And suddenly, Jabra ran towards his field and started barking. He was able to hear a lot of animals are there in the field and they are grazing and tramping and they are destroying the crop. Halku got up with determination and started walking towards the field. And then suddenly came air. And he felt like he can't take any more steps from here. He went back to fire, took the clothes which he had, put on top of his face and slept on the ashes. Next morning, Muni came and woke him up. Wake up, wake up. You're lying here in bliss and there all our crops are destroyed. Both of them ran towards their field and then saw the whole crop is trampled upon. Muni was very, very sad. But somewhere in his heart, Halku was very happy. Muni said, now to pay the debt, we will have to work as the daily wages. That's when Halku replied, so what? At least I won't have to sleep here in the cold night. Friends, have you read this story somewhere? I'm sure you have. It was written by Munshi Premchandra in 1930. Poos Ki Raat. Do you know what would have been the ending of this story if he wrote it today? कुछ फांसी पर लटक गए, कुछ हो रहे हैं तैयार. कुछ फांसी पर लटक गए, कुछ हो रहे हैं तैयार. कैसी मची ये हाहाकार, अन्नदाता की सुनो. Farmers are doing suicide every day, and no one is listening to them. Nobody is interested in listening to them. In our nation, more than 10,000 marginal farmers are committing suicide every year. Government changes, but farmers' plight are still the same. Do you know farmers are bound to sell their produce to a middleman in a government designated market? The bigger irony is that there are few pseudo farmers who are protesting against bringing in any reform to allow farmers to sell wherever they actually want. There are several problems with India, which Indian farmer faces, and agricultural reforms are the need of the hour. It's the high time that government and we as society take monumental steps to bring in prosperity to farmers' life. So friends, let us all work together and bring in this positive change in the life of our farmers. This can be the only tribute we can offer to India's son of soil, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, on his birth anniversary, and tribute to the slogan he gave to us. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Another day, another arousing speech from Toastmaster Ashutosh. Indeed, Shastri Ji was a humble but iron-willed leader who laid the foundation for the growth of agriculture center in our country. And the rallying cry of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan did put the world on notice that India was going to be self-sufficient. Thank you for that reminder, Toastmaster Ashutosh. I request the audience to share your thoughts on the speech using the link in the chat box. We will have 1 minute for that. All right then. The evaluator for the second speaker is someone who shares his birthday with another iron-willed Prime Minister of India, Srimati Indira Gandhi ji. Now, can anyone tell me the date of this lady's birth? So sorry to put all of you on a spot. And trust me, if any of you would have been the Toastmaster of the day and asked these questions, I would have been as silent as you, because obviously we were focusing on other things when we were in school. It's November 19th, and I request our November 19th born Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh Singh to tell the audience about the speech being attempted by the next speaker.
Hi, very good evening to all fellow Toastmasters and would-be Toastmasters in this forum. And next speaker, she's going to attempt level 1 of project 2. And purpose of the speech, if I'm going to state, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to his second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. Timer, please note, time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh Singh, for that crisp introduction of what we can expect from our speaker. Now, our speaker is someone almost all of us are hearing for the first time. She is mentored by distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy. She is pursuing her engineering and a member of IEM Toastmasters Club. Now she shares her birthday with someone, at least in my books, definitely overshadows her. She shares a birthday with the original father of not the nation, but father of the universe, Talaiva Rajnikant. So even if we do become best friends, I will still wish Rajni sir first and only then Toastmaster Mehuli. Let's have on screen the December 12th born Toastmaster Mehuli. Toastmaster Mehuli, going with the flow, Toastmaster Mehuli.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Krish, for the lovely introduction. And yes, definitely, if I would have been you, I would have also done the same. And I'm immensely excited for today's session because this is the first time I'll be delivering a speech at VMC Toastmasters Club. And I am also very thankful to the club for having me today. Going with the flow. Since childhood, I've been a very naughty kid. I used to beat up people around me very often and only used to listen to my mother because I was quite obedient. At the same time, I was also a good student. I was quite studious. I loved going to school. Teachers loved me a lot and things were almost perfect that time. This was also the time when my parents decided to bring me to Kolkata for better studies, better schooling, and better opportunities overall. And I got admitted to one of the most strict missionary school for girls in the city, Queen of the Mission School, Park Circus. My journey started there and I slowly started loving that place. I got admitted at class 2 and I still remember the day when I got 10 upon 10 on history and I was made the class monitor for that reason. There are many memories like this that I cherish. Now I started growing up and things were moving on. It was perhaps the most interesting time of my school life. It was middle school. I started exploring, I started participating in a lot of events around me, for example, debate competitions and quizzes. And this was also the time when I realized my love for public speaking and I thought of doing something with it. Now, has it ever happened with you guys when you were called on stage or it was your turn and you messed up very successfully? It has happened with me when I was called on stage and I went there very spontaneously, very confidently representing my school in an inter-school debate competition. And the moment I took the mic in front of me and started speaking, I couldn't say more than 2 lines. I went absolutely blank. I became so nervous and I suddenly became conscious about what the audience would think about me. And I messed up very badly. And the thought that my school won't be able to win the competition just because of me not being able to perform well absolutely shattered me inside and out. This was the time when I thought of giving up, but thankfully and fortunately, I received a lot of support and encouragement from my teachers, principal, and everybody from school. And this was also the time when the debate club in my school was named after a name I suggested. So I was immensely proud for that as well. It was high school time and I was growing up. I had perhaps grown up already. I changed my school because I wanted to change my boards. It was a new place, absolutely. And without me even realizing the fact that class 11 is over, it took me almost a year to adjust to the place and I didn't like what was happening around me. It was class 12, perhaps the most important year of your school life because one, it's your board year. Second, it's the last year of your school life. And this is all you got to make memories. I didn't know what to do after school. I didn't know what to study. And I was very confused and frustrated too. I thought of dropping a year because I almost gave all the examinations available in the planet. I did well in some of them, performed horribly in some of them, and ended up dropping a year, as I said. So 2 months later, my parents came to me and asked me this question: what do you want to do? Have you decided? I didn't know what to say. I perhaps didn't have anything to say. This was a time when I should have actually done something. So my parents took me to my aunt and uncle who are very close to me and they are my ultimate well-wishers. My aunt very emotionally held my hand and told me, Guria, that's my nickname. Why don't you do what you have right now? Why don't you make use of the resources you have right now? Take up computer science. You've got it in a good place and we love you, we care about you, and we are very confident about you. We're always with you. Just go on and things will be fine, absolutely. I perhaps didn't know what to do and I ended up listening to her. And now it has been more than 2 years after that incident took place and I don't regret it. I can very confidently say I've been able to become a much better version of myself, a more confident version of myself, and a better person. I'm growing every day, learning every day. Now, I would like to conclude my speech and say in a nutshell that life can be extremely rewarding at times, extremely unpredictable as well. What we can do is go with the flow and listen to our conscience, listen to our instincts, trust ourselves. Because stopping is not an option, pressing the pause button isn't an option. We should always remember to make use of the play button we have already and keep moving forward. Doesn't matter if it isn't fast forward, all you've got to do is move forward with the flow. Go along with the flow and explore yourself. Because in the end, trust me, this happens all the time. Perhaps this is the only similarity we have got with the films with our lives. Things turn out to be absolutely fine because the pictures, and if it doesn't, just remember, picture still left, my friend. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Thank you.
Toastmaster Mehuli, for someone who finds himself directionless at the beginning of each week, your message truly echoes with me. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gudia, if I may call you that, for that. And I request the audience to share your thoughts on the speech using the link in the chat box in the minute of tranquility that you will have from now. As we go about doing that, would anyone here like to share about any good anecdotes of having to share your birthdays with someone and get overshadowed on your birthdays? Anyone? I see Toastmaster Kirti coming in, PD, Toastmaster Rima. Toastmaster Kirti, have you shared your birthday with anyone? And no?
I have
Okay.
shared with a friend in school, but not some great personality.
No,
as
even then,
Toastmaster Mehuli.
how was that experience of having to have one cake which had 2 names written on it?
Okay, so there was this incident which was very funny. So back in school, we used to, like we were allowed to wear different clothes, like casual clothes on our birthdays. You didn't, you could not wear your uniform on that particular day because it was your birthday. So, so with the dress which I was wearing, one girl was exactly wearing the same dress, like exactly the same dress.
And
So
everybody
it was-
declared it her birthday also.
So no, it was her birthday. That's why she was
Wow.
wearing the dress. But it was very weird because we hardly find people where your clothes match, and it's on my birthday. So now I was like stealing my thunder, and as she was wearing the same dress as a.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that, and thank you for being with us today in our meeting. And she is the president of IMI Toastmasters Club in Calcutta. So thank you very much. And Toastmaster Rima, I saw your hand up. Would you like to share something?
Yes. I shared my birthday with Devanand, and Devanand is Vidyasagar. And at my school one day, there was a program for Ishwar Vidyasagar, and we all had to wear some uniform. And I thought it was all for me. My class teacher did for me because it's my birthday in my class. But then I realized no, it was a school program. And no one wished me at that day on my birthday, not even my friends, and I felt very bad. That incident really happened with me, and I was very much embarrassed because I was telling everyone, it is happening because of me, because it's my birthday.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. As in, that was a bad experience for you, but thank you for sharing and making us laugh. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Rima. Excellent.
Sorry, I couldn't switch on my camera because
It's okay.
I'm out.
It's okay. Yeah, I can understand. Thank you very much, Rima, for sharing that. Now, the second part of our session will be conducted by someone who shares his birthday with a heartthrob of the ladies and some men also, Sri Leonardo Caprio. And birthdays have never been a big deal for him. And just like Leo, he's above most of us. He's a very calm and composed person, Toastmaster Orithro. And he's just like Leo, he's also concerned about climate change and working on good scripts. So please welcome our November 11th born Toastmaster Orithro as our table topic master on the screen. Toastmaster Orithro, it's all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krish. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. Welcome to this session of Table Topics. Table Topics help speaker develop the ability to speak on the spot when given an impromptu question or a topic. It enhances your critical thinking, on the spot thinking, and also helps you organize your speech delivery skills. Enhance your speech delivery skills. I encourage members and guests to volunteer to speak when I ask you to by typing me in the chats. Guests have an option of changing their first topic if they want to, and this option is not available to the members. I urge participants to use the word of the day tranquility as often as they can. Timer, please note that the speakers can speak for 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side, which means that you have to speak for at least 1 minute and you can speak at the most till 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Since we have had two speakers and will be having two evaluations, we have to follow a strict timeline, and I urge participants to not exceed the time limits. Let's start. Any volunteers?
I propose Toastmaster Kirti Bajoria.
Hi, Kirti. Let me share my screen. The hell, man. Just a second. Yeah. Your topic is If I Could Fly. Toastmaster Kirti, if I could fly, Toastmaster Kirti.
If I could fly, definitely I would go to a place which is, as the word of the day says, which is tranquil, a peaceful and calm place, because I have not been anywhere for the last 2.5 years. I'm at home. Probably most of us are at home. So because of the pandemic, we can't do anything about it. And so yeah, definitely, if I could fly, I would have gone to a beautiful place which is calm, serene, peaceful, where I could just sit with my thoughts and think about myself, the things that I want. how I can grow myself, what I like, because I feel I'm a person who thinks about other people more than myself, what other people think about me, what other people like. So I feel, I want to go to a place which has less of population, where there is no network, of course, because I don't want to use my phone. I don't want to click pictures and post on my Instagram account, because that is what we do nowadays. Instead of enjoying ourselves in the beautiful, serene place, in that tranquility, we try to get others' validation by posting pictures and getting comments and likes. So I would like to go to a place where there is no network, where I can just be with myself, where I can meet new people, and yeah, just enjoy and get to eat different type of cuisine, meet new people, share their experiences, listen to them. So that will be my take on this topic if I could fly. Thank you so much.
Wonderful take, Kirti. Can we have the next volunteer? Bharat, guest Bharat. Hi.
Toastmaster Bharat.
Toastmaster Bharat. I'm so sorry.
Hi, Toastmaster Aditya.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Give me an easy one.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, this one. Your topic is, if I could buy BMW, the company. Toastmaster Bharat. If I could buy BMW, the company. Toastmaster Bharat.
Everyone has a dream to earn money. Everybody, because without money, you cannot achieve your goal. Money is a necessity of life. It's true that everything is not money, but without money, you cannot fulfill your dream. What I believe is, if I own a BMW company, then I can fulfill all of my dreams, and I am a NGO worker. Like, I teach underprivileged children math and English. I like to do that. I volunteer. I am a key worker in Ray of Hope. It's an organization in my college as well, and Ye Mera India as well in Kolkata. Whenever I do come to your visit, Kolkata, I do take part in the volunteer. Presently, I am working in my hometown Kishanganj, so I am not able to do all kind of social work. But coming to the topic, like, if I own the company BMW, I can donate lots of money, and I can do many things. Like, I can open an NGO like BMW Foundation, we can say. So owning a company is a very nice thing which you can pursue, which anybody always has a dream. Like, if you will be having money, then you can do anything. Obviously, I can enjoy lots of cars as well. I have a lot of passion of cars, like BMW X Series. I like the BMW X Series very much. It got many things, like the airbags, lots of I always have a dream to ride in a BMW to the college. I want to go in a BMW in the college, but unfortunately that dream doesn't fulfill. I have to own a Kia Seltos only. So over to you, sir.
Well, great take. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Can we have Prince? Prince Ahuja, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Can we have the spotlight on him? Great. Right. Your topic is, God, if I were incapable of lying. Guest Prince, if I were incapable of lying. If I were incapable of lying. Guest Prince, please go on.
Okay. Thank you, sir, and good evening, everyone. If I could, if it's become difficult for me to lie, that means I need to speak truth every time. It doesn't give me any chance to speak lie. I will be try my best every time, and I could do better because I don't have to further chance to speak live. And I want to share my experience with you that when I try to speak in line, I feel shiver. So I better to speak truth. And thank you so much. It's my first table topic. I am grateful for everyone to give me chance. Thank you.
Great take, Prince. Thank you for giving it a try. I know it can be intimidating the first time, but you did your best and you should be proud of that. Next volunteer, just a second. Can we have Pratyush?
Yeah, good afternoon, Toastmaster Aritro.
Hi, Pratyush. Can we have
I'm
the
unable to
spotlight
open
on
the.
you? Okay, you are not. No problem. Let me share your topic. Your topic is if I were to become 18 again. Please go on.
Yes, I have seen it. If I think that life can be like a staircase where we can go and we can come down as well, then I would be the most happiest person because if I would be able to turn 18 again, then I will be able to do many things that I have done wrong, like doing more studies. I would like to share that when I at the middle of when I completed my graduation, then I decided that I will not go for my higher studies. If I were at my 18, then I would have understood that why my parents used to scold me, or they used to tell me that the things you are doing right now is not necessary. Rather than you should focus on the things that you are not doing. So I will not go into the details regarding what I used to do and what I didn't used to do. But if I were able to turn 18, then I will like that I turn 18 through a time machine, because then I will be able to remember that what mistakes I have faced after I crossed 18 and I didn't do that things in my life. Because turning 18 without a memory again will make me the same person, and I will repeat the mistakes again. So I will ask the table topic master to provide me a time machine, and I can turn 18. But if you ask me that I will turn 18 and I will be again blank with no memories or the experience or the bad experience that I have faced, then I will say that I will not like to turn 18 again. So turning 18 with the help of a time machine is a very good option. Back to you, table topic master.
That's a wonderful take. I am of the same opinion. I would not trade my wisdom, my knowledge for anything. Can we have Sumit now? Toastmaster Sumit?
Yes. Hi, Toastmaster.
Hi. Your topic is if MK Gandhi was my brother.
Good evening, everyone.
Sure, go on. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So what if Mahatma Gandhi, or the father of nation, was my brother? Well, on a lighter note, I wouldn't be alive today because I must have died in the 60 or 70. But on a serious note, I would be very happy. And the best part would be that I will have inspiration at my home. I will take the inspiration from my brother and probably will be a big factor in the independence of our country. Because if I have someone like M.K. Gandhi at my home, I will also indulge in his activities. I will also try to contribute what he is doing for our nation. So, so, so having brother like MP Gandhi is a blessing, and that's what the topic signifies, I guess. If you can inspire, if you can take inspiration from anyone of your family member, you would be more than well to do in this society, because you don't want anyone to motivate yourself. You will have your family at your back, who will push you to achieve your dreams and achieve your goals. And that's what we require in today's days, because the competition is so huge and people are always struggling to go ahead of one another. We need someone who will constantly push us and constantly show us our goals, that this is what you are meant for. And that's what having a brother like MP Gandhi will do to you and to your personality. And that's the best part of it. So having a brother like MP Gandhi will be something that most of us would like to have, but in reality, we can only imagine to have a real brother like MP Gandhi. That's all from my side, and thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Retro.
Wonderful take, Sumit. Thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts. That brings us to the end of this session, and I would like to mention that apologies to Mehuli. You were very keen on speaking, but we intend to give chances to people who haven't had a chance to speak, and that's why you were not called. But thank you for your interest, and over to you, Toastmaster Krish.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Orithro. That table topic session and the topics were really fun things to speak on. If I would have had a chance, I would have loved to have a go at the last topic, which is what if MK Gandhi was your brother? And of course, yeah, I am a little, it's just for fun's sake. It's mostly, which I've already done, using the name of somebody else that, I could just go to anyone and say, okay, can you pack a pizza for me? No money, I'm sorry. This is my brother. He wants it. I don't want it. You don't want to give the pizza for the father of the nation? I would have got a lot of free stuff. Anyway, thank you very much, Toastmaster Orithro. Now, the final part of our Toastmaster session is my most awaited part, where I look forward to learn how to get better as a public speaker and communicator. Now, for this section, let us have on screen again Toastmaster Rajat Ray as the general evaluator and his team. All yours, sir. Toastmaster Rajat.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Krishnesh. So let's start right away with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. There were 2 speeches today. So I'd like to invite on stage the evaluator for the first speech, which was delivered by Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. And the evaluator was Toastmaster Shitish Sresht. So let's have him on stage, please, for his comments.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear distinguished guests, and in particular, Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. You spoke like sage Parshuram, and believe me when I say this, because you were full of energy, the weapons replaced by words, and you achieved your target. I'm saying this because your project objective, the research you put in this was completely on point. When I heard your speech title, I'm being honest, I was completely flabbergasted. See, you are an inspiration to me, and especially in the fields of nationalism and patriotism. But the way you started it, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, you took my complete attention towards yourself. You shared the emotion there. Second, you were confident, completely comfortable, and not at all nervous, and even interacted with the audience, interacted with me with a question. So kudos for that. Third, you had connected each and every part of your speech beautifully. I was able to grasp everything from the war, the army, the speech by Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, and then transition to Sri Munshi Premchand's characters, Harku and Jabra. So kudos for that too. Fourth, and the most influential, I would say, the way you use your props, the way you use the cotton towel to wrap it around your head and to use it to depict the farmer situation. that was completely out of the box. And then you use the same prop to depict another situation, a more intense one, the suicide of farmers. That was awesome. Now, since your project was effective body language, let's talk on some points of recommendations. First, only half of your torso was visible while you were speaking. So this led to, I would not say something like constricted hand movement, but limited hand movement. So you could have moved a little back. So complete torso, assume I'm standing, sorry for that. And that would have done the job. Second, at sometimes you needed to set, and I repeat, reset the camera positions. So you kind of snatched the attention that you created by in your very intense scenes and formulated it. Third, you interacted with the audience, good, but you needed to give me some break. I needed the urge to get the pause, the break, to interpret the question in my mind, and that would have happened to be more message worthy. So if you work on these points, I'm sure that you'll definitely reach to another level filled with calmness and tranquility. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to heartfully assert that the speaker has successfully completed his objective. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij, for your excellent evaluation. First, let me give a few comments about your evaluation itself before I add on to what you told about the speaker. I feel your evaluation was very well structured. You gave the points of commendation, 4 points of commendation, 3 points of recommendation with proper demonstration as to how it can be done better. So your analysis and recommendation was on the dot. I wish that you had done the summarizing in a little more elaborate manner, because I expected you'll mention the points at least in bullet form once again, so that the speaker could retain it. What I really loved was your tone and tenor of your speech, your motivating language. So well done there, Toastmaster Kshitij. And coming to Toastmaster Ashutosh, what I really loved was your vibe, the vibration which came through during the speech. You are good at body language, you are good at voice, and you chose a topic which was inspirational for us, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and you switched to farmer suicide problem. So both are hot problems with us, emotional issues. So they were well chosen. Now, just a couple of small recommendations to you. One is that when you were talking about that story of the Kisan Hakku, there are 2 observations I have. One is that the story was, in my mind, a little long. It could have been shortened slightly in order to convey that same message and to come to a point where, the farmer is supposed to go into suicide mode in future. Second is, inside the story itself, I would have hoped that the switch would happen, that the farmers who are the mainstay of our nation, whom we admire so much, whom we love so much, is now going into another mode. That mode may not be readily coming through in the story by Premchand, Munshi Premchand, but you need to somehow put that switch there more strongly so that we feel that there was a crisis and we have to deal with the crisis. I didn't get that feel that the farmer suicide is a major issue. So perhaps you could look at your script again when you're writing a speech and see that there is a point of inflection, a switch which happens, a problem which builds up and then it gets resolved or has a inspiration to resolve the problem. Otherwise, great speech. I don't have any further major points to add. Let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Ashutosh and go on to the next evaluation. Second speech was given by Toastmaster Mehuli Basu, and the evaluator was Toastmaster Dr. Ramesh Singh. So let's have him on stage.
So very good evening again, fellow Toastmaster and guest. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have observed how Toastmaster Mehuli came to podium without any fear, and she was very confident and started her speech with her childhood memories and told that she was a very naughty kid. But same time, she was very intelligent and good at studies. That's the reason their parents decided to bring her to Calcutta for better studies. And apart from her studies, she was fascinated about her extracurricular activities. She realized how she has interest in public speaking. And after that, she told the story. And one moment in the story when she asked question from audience. Has it ever happened when you got called on stage or it was your turn and you messed up at the stage? She took pause. I thought she is calling audience to give her expectation what they felt. But after that, she narrated her story, what she did at the stage. Here, I believe it is not necessary every time you call audience for observation or share their story. In your speech, she could have done like, I thought, you may say, you could have mentioned the sentence like, it would have happened to you when she or you, everyone got called at the stage and you had messed up. And same happened with me or not happened with me, that kind of story. That would have given the complete sentence or complete story because you don't want to involve the audience. And after that, voice modulation. You're too confident. English is your natural language, looks like. So you went on flow as per your title, going with the flow. Story completed. Very structured speech. And because it was related to your parents, family, your story, you had a lot of time. You could have modulated your voice when you were a kid and how your parent discussed with you. It would have given the wow factor to this speech. Otherwise, your clarity, eye contact is perfectly fine. And apart from that, because in digital forum, you could have used the stage as well. You could have stand up and given the speech. You would have added extra feature to your speech and that attracted the audience as well. Otherwise, Mahali, she's starting your journey. So I'll write one quote, Jami chute to khalao mein bhatak jaoge, to murte urte kahin asman chhu lena. As you are an engineering student, you have a lot of opportunity. So work on that and see how you can touch the sky. As per your speech, you need to go on flow. Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh Singh for your evaluation. First, let me give a couple of comments on the evaluation itself. You mentioned a few points of commendation like confidence, good start, audience interaction, pauses, and usage of stage, etc. And also some recommendations that the audience interaction was perhaps a bit too much. Use voice and so on. Three points were there for recommendation as well. So some points of commendation, recommendation. So well done there. I have two suggestions here. One relates to the initial introduction that you gave. If I understand correctly, this is the second speech being given after she has heard the evaluation, right? And she is supposed to incorporate some improvements in this particular speech, or was it the first speech before the evaluation? Dr. Rupesh?
It was the first speech for the second project.
It was
Before
my
the
second
evaluation.
speech.
Second speech after you heard some evaluation?
Yes.
It is
As if you're muted.
it would be good if the evaluator could mention in the introduction what are the points he's looking out for in this second speech, and also give a review of that during the evaluation itself, that this point was taken care of or not taken care of. And Dr. Rupesh, perhaps if somebody would be in order at the end of the evaluation that these were the points of commendation and these were the points of recommendation. Just the bullets. But good coverage there. Thank you so much. And to comment to Toastmaster Mehuli herself, this was an interesting story of your life that we heard, all the stages that you went through, all the flows that you went through or didn't go through and finally decided to go with the flow. So let me give you one small suggestion and one big suggestion. The small suggestion is when you start a speech, You don't really have to mention that I'm immensely excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me to the podium and so on, because in a Toastmaster speech, you can start off directly itself. Secondly, when you say go with the flow, there were certain questions I was expecting to be answered during your speech. One, what does go with the flow mean? You went into that almost in the conclusion. Perhaps if you went into the meaning of going with the flow, somewhere near the beginning, we will be able to relate to whether you did or didn't do throughout the speech. Second is, why should we go with the flow? What is the reason? I mean, even if I understand what it means, why should we go with the flow? So that reasoning part of it, if it is made explicit, that helps somewhere in the beginning. Third, what did you exactly do to go with the flow? Came somewhere in the end, but that was, I felt, a little general. I would have expected to hear that earlier I used to do this, now I did this, this, and this, where I really went with the flow, I didn't do something else. So that sort of a specific suggestion would have helped. And fourth, this is a conceptual input to you. There's a very blunt statement in speeches where when you're writing a speech, you should imagine the audience asking the question, why should I listen to you? Or if you as a speaker want to ask the question, why should an audience listen to my speech? There are three reasons they listen to it. Either they want to get informed, or they want to get entertained, or they want to get persuaded or inspired. Now, I leave this question with you. Which of these categories do you think your speech was in? Whichever category it was, I feel it needs a little enhancement. If you wanted us to be informed, needed a little more information. If it was an entertaining speech, needed a little more entertainment. And if you wanted us to be persuaded or inspired to something, I feel it needed a little more subject matter for us to be inspired or persuaded, a little more action points. So when you do a speech, when you create a speech, please ask yourself, why am I writing this? What will the audience gain from it? Very, very ruthlessly you have to ask this question, and you have to up your game accordingly in places so that the audience's time is fruitfully spent. Yeah. Don't take it too harshly as a statement. This is a very basic need of speech writing. All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehuli. It was good listening to you, good speech. So going on to the other sections of the evaluation. In order to just continue with speech evaluations, let me just quickly finish the table topic evaluations before I ask my tag role players for their feedback. Now, there were 5 table topics which were presented, and all the table topics today were of the imagination kind. They were not really the reasoning kind. It was more that people had to go on a flight of fancy and answer the question, sort of small tall tales, right? So some of you went, some of you didn't go so much. So let me just give my comments. First speech was by Toastmaster Kirti Bajoria, and it was, if I could fly. And Kirti, you said you wanted to go to a tranquil place, good use of word of the day there. And you also mentioned why you want to go there, because you like tranquility, you like being by yourself, you had enough of people during this COVID time and so on. Now, how could this speech be a little better? One is very rationally, I thought, where is the question of flying coming in here? Because you just said that you wanted to go to a tranquil place. So it would be nice if the flight aspect of it could also be included. A bit of imagination could come in there. Second, examples of a few places where you want to actually go to. Whether it's Bahamas or Seychelles or inside Vesuvius. That's not a tranquil place, by the way. But just to give an example, mention a few places. And lastly, even in a table topic, it's nice to give a closer, that is a closing statement. Even if it is just to repeat the topic. If you can't think of anything else, just say, so if I could fly, I could do so many things, but I'd prefer to go to a tranquil place. Just repeat what you started with, so that we know your speech is over. But anyway, it's a good thing that you want to go to a tranquil place. Let's all go there. I hope we do. Toastmaster Bharat, your topic was, if I could buy BMW, the company. You started with a nice statement. Everybody has a dream of having a lot of money, and you also have that. And you implied that buying the BMW company fulfilled this dream of having a lot of money. Of course, one question struck me that after buying the BMW company, you'll probably have very little money left, but you'll have the BMW company instead. So you went on to give a touch of your personal life, saying social work. And if you had a BMW company, maybe you could get into the donation, open a foundation and so on. That was a nice linkage to your social work there. And that you also enjoy cars. So here and there, you connected your current life with owning a BMW company. That was well done. I wish you had closed with some statement instead of just saying over to you, sir. That, like I said, everybody has a dream. And my dream is to have a good lot of money and also to own a BMW company. So just say that to close your speech. Very good speech there, Toastmaster. Thirdly, Prince, I think you're a guest. So you got the topic, if I was incapable of lying. And you really are, because you said outright that this is the first time I'm speaking and I'm finding it difficult. So that was a good example of speaking the truth every time. I was joking. So when you opened, you said, yes, speak the truth every time is what this topic means. And that gives the responsibility of never having to lie. It's a relief also, and a responsibility as well. That's what your sentence implied. And just personal touch where you said lying, it sends a shiver down your spine, the problem of lying. Kudos to you for that. It was a good attempt from your side. This being the first speech, I think we did a pretty good job at a table topic. In future, just try to add one closing statement also, instead of just saying that that's all I wanted to say. I said, so friends, speak the truth every time. It works, something like that, like a slogan for the audience to carry home with them. But a good effort there. Toastmaster Prince, the guest Prince, please keep speaking. Toastmaster Pratyush, your topic was, if I were to become 18 again. You're not 18 now, I always thought you were. Anyway, I really liked your speech because you opened by saying that, we'll always be happy when we become young again, and we'll be able to collect all the wrongs, study more and understand what your parents meant. And what I really liked is you said that you want to retain the current memories when going back to 18 so that you know what were the mistakes that you made and how they turned out. So the time machine should not make you lose your current memory. That was a good touch that lent a lot of credits, and your speech became a concept. It's a good show there. You could have given a few more examples of what is it that you may want to correct when you were 18, that would have lent a personal touch. But you also had a good closing remark, the same statement, very good speech, Toastmaster Pratyush. Toastmaster Sumit, you had the topic that if M.K. Gandhi was my brother. Now, I also feel like Krishna is saying that you had the scope of perhaps, going to the moon with this topic. But you started with a very reasonable note saying that you won't be alive either if he was your brother. He was your brother. It was not said you have to be his brother. Yeah. So that makes a difference of which time scale you're operating in. So yes, apart from that, you said a positive thing that you'd gather a lot of inspiration if Gandhi was your brother. However, the question was still in my mind that what are the difficulties you would have faced if you had a brother like Gandhi? Because if I remember correctly, none of his family members had an easy time in reality. That's a problem with public figures. Their private lives go for a toss. So I wish your imagination had gone a little that way also, right? And as I told a couple of speakers otherwise, proper closing statement is a good ending to a table topic speech. So if Mohandas Gandhi was my brother, I'll have another set of inspiration and not just my father, something like that, you say, and close. But a good set of topics from the table topic master, and the speakers did very good justice. Big round of applause to all of them. So let's take a look at what my other team members have to say. The tag team, the timer, the art counter, and the grammarian. And I'll follow that up with my own observations on the other major role players. So let's invite on stage first the timer of the day to give his report. Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Abhijit was having some network issues, so I took over his role. So it's Toastmaster Panna here. Both the speakers have qualified for voting. Toastmaster Ashutosh with a timing of 6 minutes 45 seconds and Toastmaster Mehuli with a timing of 5 minutes 42 seconds. big round of applause for both of them. For the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Kirti, 1 minute 37 seconds. Toastmaster Bharat, 1 minute 59 seconds. Prince, 49 seconds. Pratyush, Toastmaster Pratyush, 2 minutes 02 seconds. Toastmaster Sumit, 2 minutes 06 seconds. So all the Toastmasters have qualified for voting. Prince is disqualified on the basis of time. The evaluators, both the evaluators have qualified for voting. Toastmaster Kshitij with a timing of 3 minutes 7 seconds and Toastmaster Rupesh with a timing of 3 minutes 16 seconds. A big round of applause for all the speakers. Over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajat.
Thank you, timer, second timer, that is. So just a couple of comments on the total timer role. Initially, Toastmaster Abhijit did his role introduction perfectly. All timings were explained properly, except that he missed that grace period part. And he also demonstrated the cards. And Lithium Panda, she's done a perfect job of displaying the cards, and her report was on the dot. Good job, both of them. Coming to the R counter, let's invite on stage Toastmaster Sumit Kumar for his report.
Good evening, everyone, once again. So I used elephants here to represent to each and every one of the speakers today, and here goes my report. So Toastmaster Krish has 2 hours, Toastmaster Rajat has 2 hours, Toastmaster Kshitij has 2 hours, Toastmaster Mehudi has 2 hours and 1 so, Toastmaster Aritro has few hours, Toastmaster Kriti has 1 hour, and Toastmaster Bharat has few hours, Toastmaster Guest Prince has few hours, and Guest Pratyush has few hours. And the rest of the speakers were flawless, and I couldn't find anything from their speech to make a count of. So kudos to everyone. And that's all from my side, and back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit. A few comments on your role. Your role introduction was perfect. Concept of R was explained well. Report was very, very crisp. The good things that you did in your report was that any hours more than 3, you said few hours in order not to make the speaker too nervous. And you also grouped the flawless people together, but I suggest you mention their names as well so that they feel motivated to hear their name from you when they're talking about flawless. But a great job there, Toastmaster Sumit. Coming to the grammar.
Rajat, you're muted. Rajat, you're muted.
I'm generally muted at home, but here also I'm muted. So coming to the grammarian of the day, let's invite on stage Toastmaster Ayunanshu.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajat Ray. Well, today, first up, the word of the day. It was used around 8 times, out of which Toastmaster Rajat used it 4 times, and Toastmaster Krish, Toastmaster Kirti, Toastmaster Aritro, and Toastmaster Kshitij used once each. Next up, the good usage of grammar. There were a few uses that I found good over here. Somewhere it was said, it's not a slogan, it's an inspiration. It was also said, tearing out of his heart. Good usage were also like, weapons were placed with words, completely flabbergasted, on the dot, tone and toner. Well, with some good usage, there were also not so good usage of grammar. In grammar or in speaking, we use pauses with full stops and commas. And in this session, there were a few speakers who didn't took those pauses correctly. They were moving on with the flow, just on and on. Those were not used correctly in few of the speakers. Otherwise, there was also an instance where the tense was not used properly. It were a few. Just for example, I would like to share the one in sentence that I could recall. It was, when I will like to turning 18. It may have been, I would like to turn 18. Thank you, and over to you, to General Evaluator Toastmaster Rajat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayunanshu, for a crisp yet very, very complete report. And I think you chose a good word of the day, tranquility, which people could use. Now, I'll just take a minute each for each of the major role players in order to complete. The Sergeant at Arms started bang on time, mentioned net protocols properly, all the taboos were mentioned. Your energy level was very, very high. Toastmaster Ayunanshu, and you gave the President glowing introduction, a copybook role played by the Sergeant at Arms. Great job done there. Coming to the president, DTM Panna, you had a strong opening and your inspirational speech was crisp and short. And freedom to make mistakes. Don't we love that particular freedom? So that was a good takeaway line for us. Your induction of the new Toastmaster was well done, Toastmaster Abhijit. And you introduced all the guests, Neeral, who was quite, Prince, Bharat, Mehuli, quite well. And the Toastmasters introduction was complete and very, very interesting. So big round of applause to our impeccable president, DTM Panna. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh, I always love listening to you because you're such a free-flowing soul. In the sense, even if you're prepared, you look very free. And that's a very difficult thing to achieve, especially in a Toastmaster of the day. Today, I loved your theme and the way you took everybody's birthday, connected it to famous person's birthday, and gave some offhand comments. And they acted as very good introductions to the players without wasting too much of time. So I think a very good tool has been used by you for today's theme. Great job there. You also explained your role in the session very well. In terms of control of time, which is a major function of the Toastmaster of the day, I think table topic speaker started 6 minutes late, although he stuck to 15 minutes on his own. And I have overshot by around 5 minutes in my own room. So great job there, Toastmaster of the day, in managing time as well. I also loved your innovation where audience shares their thought on the speech on a Google link. Although you said 1 minute and you gave 2-3 minutes sometimes, it was not required. 1 minute is quite enough. Coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster Aritra Biswas, what a series of nicely thought out, imaginative topics which everybody could speak on. You gave them full freedom for their flights of fancy, which they did to the best of their ability. You introduced your role very well, and there was a mix of guests and members. You managed time excellently. You stopped with 5 speakers on 15 minutes. That's to be really applauded. I suggest one thing is when you're giving the topic, you need to repeat it once because once or twice you missed that to repeat the topic. But very well conducted table topic session. And that brings me to the end of my feedback session on the session as a whole. Have I missed anything? I think not. So I will hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh.
Thank you very much for that elaborate and very learned, wise. I'm running short of synonyms. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajat, as well as your team for that wonderful evaluation. Yep. Anybody was able to lip sync? Mixi band karo bhai. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. Please use the link, voting link, to put in your votes for your people who stood out today. And the remaining 3 of you, Mehuli, PD, and Rima, if you could switch on your cameras, we'll take. Arey, usko thapad mat maro yaar. PD and Rima, if you could switch on your cameras, we'll take a nice photograph. It's okay, Sumit. It's okay, beta. PD, who's PD? Ahuja, Prince. Sumit. Aye. Koi baat nahi, Sumit, no problem.
Prince, come on camera, please. Rajat, come on camera.
I think he's coming to your room. No, he's in that room only. Okay, he's gone. Okay, who's taking the photo? Oh, there he is. Who's taking the photo? I'll take it. Ready, steady, and hey, wait, no. Done. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rima. So that was it from my side for as Toastmaster of the day. I would like to thank everyone of you who took my questions and was prompt to answer my nudges. Thank you very much for being a wonderful audience. And I would like now for the president, Distinguished Toastmaster Panare, to take over and continue with the proceedings. Thank you very much. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ray, Toastmaster Krish. Did we have a very nice session today? It was so informative. And I was amazed that so many of you were born on the 12th. Maybe different months, but 12th, 12th, 12th came, and then there was 11. I thought, okay, somebody missed it by a day. Must be a premature baby. One day premature. So let me take a quick feedback from the guests. Prince, could you come on? Could you unmute yourself and let us know how you enjoyed the session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's like I am taking admission in new school, and everyone is stranger for me. And classes is going on and it's a break time, and you are taking a feedback. But how's the teacher? It's a great, and it was well planned that first we need to speak. After that, evaluator evaluate us. Then GE evaluate how evaluator is doing evaluation, and it's great. It's amazing. I like what you are doing.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you for joining us. We meet every Saturday between 4 to 6. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, whoever is PD, would you like to come on camera and say a few words? Been trying to prompt him before also. He did not come on camera. Okay. Toastmaster Mehuli, can we have a few words from you?
Yes, ma'am. This is my second time. This is the second time I'm listening to you, and it was a pleasure. And the evaluations in today's session, especially, were very detailed and absolutely to the point, and very helpful. In fact, this is the first time I even got a very detailed evaluation, and I try to improve next time, definitely. So thank you so much, Rajatre sir, Pannare ma'am. This is the second time I'm listening to you. And yeah, today's meeting was definitely very much fun. The table topics were also very interesting. And listening to the Toastmasters of the day, Krish, it was also very nice. So the entire session was very, very, I enjoyed a lot. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mehuli. A big round of applause to her. A few words from you, Bharat, please. Toastmaster Bharat.
Thank you, DT and Panna. So it was an impeccable meeting. Like all role players were eloquent and vivid. I have not maintained a tranquility during my table topics, and you know that, Toastmaster Panna. So DT and Panna. So it's 81st meeting of Virtue Toastmasters Club, and it's my first time I'm joining this club. I'm really very happy to join this club. Like today I joined it. I got the time. Just one quote I would like to share for Virtue Master is, work hard, have fun, and make history. Yes, the job.
Wow.
This is a lecture.
Thank you so much, Bharat. Do join us whenever you have the time. We meet at 4 from 4 to 6 on Saturday.
You know that I have to work a lot in table topics. You know that.
You'll do it. You'll do it. No worries. And
Yes,
you'll get a girlfriend soon also. Now, Toastmaster Rajat, can we have a few words from you other than the GE part?
That's difficult. If I have still some comments to give, that means I have not done my job properly. Because what is there to comment beyond general evaluation, But it's always fun to be in VMC because let's say Panna is there, my favorite person. And Krishnesh is there, my next favorite person. And all the others are slowly becoming my favorite people. So all in all, it's my favorite club. Apart from Alap Charita, I love to be here. So keep meeting, and sometime maybe not as GE, and then I'll appear less strict. Then we'll have fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajat. Okay, now it's time to announce the results. Who do we have here as the best category 2 role player, the tag role player? It is a grammarian, Anang Swami. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now, the category 1 role player, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Big round of applause for him too. Best table topic speaker, If the table topic speaker is not here, we will not give it to her. Kirti, Toastmaster Kirti. Big round of applause, Toastmaster Kirti. The best speaker goes to Toastmaster Ashutosh. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ashutosh. And the best evaluator is Toastmaster Kshitij. Toastmaster Kshitij, congratulations. Petition to have Toastmaster Rajat Ray as a regular member. Yes, we should do that. With that, I would like to make two announcements. One is, let's wish Sumit over here a belated happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Sumit.
Thank you.
Belated. Happy birthday to you, Sumit.
Birthday.
Belated.
Who was beating you?
And Reema's
My brother.
Chalega. Okay,
It's still on recording.
okay, sir.
And the second announcement is Toastmaster Prakriti, who was in the EC, has not renewed this term. So we will need a new secretary for the club, which we will inform everybody very soon who will be the new secretary. Okay. So with that, yes, Toastmaster Krishnesh, want to say something?
Contest.
Oh yes, the contest season, the area contest season dates have been announced. So we need to fix up our contest dates. Please contact your mentors so that they can start guiding you regarding your evaluation and your table topic contest, and also trying to push you towards finishing your level 2, at least if you have not completed level 2, to take part in the international speech contest. Okay. With that, I would like to call the meeting to a close and we can stop the recording.
एक ना ये अगर मुनव्वर राणा का शायरी है, that is no applicable to everyone, हाँ?
Okay.
मियाँ मैं शेर हूँ, शेर की गुर्राहट नहीं जाती, मैं लहजा थोड़ा नरम भी कर लूं, झुंझलाहट नहीं जाती। मैं एक दिन ख्याली में सच बोल बैठा था, मैं कोशिश कर चुका हूँ, मुंह की करवाहट नहीं जाती। जहां मैं हूं वहां आवाज देना जुर्म है, जहां वो है वहां तक पांव की आहट नहीं जाती। मियां मैं शेर हूं, शेर की गुर्राहट नहीं जाती।
Sir, board, sir.
So that is about the behavior of the person, right? जो शेर है तो शेर ही रहेगा, वो लहजा नरम भी कर लेगा तो सब दिखेगा साला शेर है।
एकदम सही।
हाँ सर, बोलिए क्या बोल रहे थे?
नहीं, I was saying ये every meeting का है।
Okay.
You'll get tired of doing. अभी हमने सिर्फ thumbs up ही करते हैं क्योंकि एकदम बहुत अच्छा है, क्या करेंगे।